final episode of Travelogue's trip around northern Xinjiang, we'll visit one of the enduring mysteries surrounding this vast region. We'll be treated to a full-on Kazakh experience and take on one of the wildest sections of the Silk Road. I guess you guys are wondering what we're up to. We are going to leave Yining and head to Jiaosu, which is the home of the Heavenly Steed, and also go to the Narak grasslands to get a taste of what the Kazakh lifestyle is going to be like. I honestly don't know what to expect, but this is the last leg of our journey across northern Xinjiang, so I've got very high expectations of the place. Alright, we're all set. Welcome to Travelogue. Let's get back on the road.
Jiaosu County is still a part of Yili Prefecture and is about a 2-hour drive south of Yining. It lies in a basin almost completely surrounded by mountains, with the massive Tianshan mountain range to its south.
One of the first mountain. One of the first mountains that you cross over before, after you get out of Yining, is the Wusun Mountain, which is over 2,006 meters above sea level. Really bloody cold, and that's a reminder to you actually to bring some warm clothes, because it really gets very windy up here. Don't be stupid like me.
Jiaosu's altitude starts at 1,300 meters above sea level. Altitude sickness can kick in at 1,500 meters, so I recommend taking it easy here. However, thanks to its elevation, you get treated to some truly spectacular views of the mountains and of the grasslands below that define Jiaosu. Once you descend the mountains, it's as if you've entered a painting by Van Gogh. Besides looking very pretty, these expansive fields of rapeseed are used for vegetable oil and biodiesel. It's big business, and for decades, China has been the biggest producer of rapeseed in the world.
So, our first stop after leaving Yining is this place, Jiaosu County, which, interestingly, doesn't have a single bit of desert in the entire Xinjiang region, and was also a part of the territory of the ancient Wusun Kingdom. But now, as you can see, it's a lovely little town.
And it's just that. Jiaosu is very small, so accommodation has its limits. If you're coming here during peak season in summer, I recommend booking well in advance. Just a 10-minute drive from town is one of Jiaosu's biggest attractions. People come all the way here to see the Taoyuan Shiren, which translates to stone people. No one knows for sure what these statues are. One theory is that they're the tombstones of the ancient Sai people that lived here before the Wusun came along. Another is that these represented kills made by warriors who roamed these lands. Either way, experts have yet to come to a conclusion.
One thing is for certain. These stone statues all face the same direction. They all face east towards the rising sun, the giver of life and power and energy. But I imagine that perhaps these ancient people worship the sun as a kind of mighty deity. And with the sun setting over there, a new day is born.
We're on our way to the Xiata ancient pass, but something catches my eye. These horses prompted the start of the Silk Road. During the Han Dynasty over 2,000 years ago, the Emperor's envoy returned from his western expedition with tales of the Wushan people and their powerful horses. The Emperor had to have them for his army. He called them heavenly horses, and the trade routes that flourished from this later became the Silk Road. These horses are their direct descendants.
You know, we're very lucky to see this because just on the way to Xiata we came across this horse ranch filled with the famous Yili horse. Actually, Jiaosu is the home of the heavenly steed. And it's just gone past fowling season now, so they're marking the young ones. Whoa! But you never know, you might have a next Black Beauty in there.
Legend has it that these heavenly horses could gallop hundreds of miles effortlessly, and thousands were paid as tribute to the Han Emperor. Even today, the trade of these Yili horses is still going strong.
So, here we are. Let me give you an idea of what we're going to do. We're at the start of the Xiata Ancient Pass, right over there, at that little tiny red dot on the left. And we're going to make our way up all the way to the second highest red dot, Xiata Wenquan. And actually, if we go over the mountains, we end up in the south of Xinjiang. But right now, we still have 30 kilometers left to go.
It is a bit of a bumpy ride, but then again, look around you. You're travelling through an ancient valley cutting through the Tian Shan Mountains. Just sit back and enjoy the view.
The great outdoors. There's nothing quite like going down a path winding through mountains. This place looks a bit like Alaska, but luckily for us, we're in the comfort of our car and don't need to suffer as much as other people who might have to walk all the way to the other side. Now this is where the fun starts. From our car can only take us to here, and from here it's at least a 5-day trek to the other side of this pass, and you're going to need some very good hiking equipment, which obviously you can see I'm not outfitted in, but that's not going to stop me from taking a short walk up there.
For me, this is the epitome of the wild and great outdoors. A word of warning though, if you're serious about completing this pass, come here in late spring or early summer. You'll have to cross rivers and glaciers to reach the other side, so bring proper equipment. But if you just want to camp for a night, that's okay too. You might not know this, but the Silk Road was actually made up of many routes, and the Xiata Ancient Pass was one of them. It was a shortcut through the Tian Shan Mountains, which connected the ones in the north with the ones in the south that led out of China via Kashgar. Coming here means you get a taste of the real Silk Road. Coming up next, it's all pomp and celebration at the Narat grasslands as we get a first-hand experience of just what it means to be a Kazakh.
So, we just left Josul, and let me give you guys a sense of direction. We're going to head east, first past Turkası, then past Gongliu, and then past Xinyuan, to get to the Narat grasslands, which I've heard a lot about.
Don't get your hopes up too soon. It takes 4 hours to get there.
Well, we're nearing our destination, the Narat grasslands. But if you come from Urumqi, there's actually a much faster way. You can catch a direct flight from there all the way to the Narat airport you see over there, open specifically for tourists, between June and September, with 2 flights per day. And once you're here, it's just a quick 30-minute ride to the scenic spot itself. Very convenient, but just wish I knew about it earlier.
And we've arrived! The main Narat tourist area has plenty of shows and restaurants. You can even stay at a Kazakh yurt for an authentic experience.
Apparently they put on one of these shows for us tourists every night, and this is supposed to be some kind of like a princess stealing thing of the nomadic Wusun people, the ancestors of the Kazakhs. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plans out.
According to a 7th century Chinese historian, Wusun people supposedly had green eyes and red beards, although this guy is probably an exception. In hindsight, I realised this free show was meant to reenact the marriage of a Han princess to the Wusun ruler around 2,000 years ago. If you meet a Kazakh person today, chances are you'll be able to trace their lineage back to the Wusun people. If you don't mind paying for tickets, walk across to this field for some real Kazakh performances. You can watch some interesting sports like sheep grabbing and, of course, a good old-fashioned horse race. These jockeys are only 12 years old. Puts me to shame.
So, yesterday I watched a Wusun wedding, but I had absolutely no idea what was going on, so I actually asked a local and they introduced me to this lovely chap here, the awesome Torhanbek with his fur, to give me a clue about what a traditional Kazakh wedding is like, which I believe is going on in there. 这个今天他们那里是有什么活动啊？
现在是我们哈萨克的传统婚礼的现场，这里是我们女方的这个男方女方的这个老人们聚在一起要举行仪式，我带你进去介绍一下。不好，现在是姑娘出嫁之前，男方女方唯一聚在一起吃个团结饭，为我们的新娘最后的送行。
送行。
In Kazakh custom, a sheep is slaughtered only when distinguished guests come. Although it seems a bit intimidating, a sheep's head is a great honour, and as such, goes to the most respected guest. After saying grace, everything is divvied up. Nothing is wasted, and they even managed to make a cake. I guess some things are similar to the West. A Kazakh wedding must finish before noon, but the bride's hiding inside with her bridesmaids. The groomsmen literally have to sing her out. No more stalling. Now it's the bride's turn to sing her weeping farewells to her family. Since Kazakh families are usually spread out on the pastures, a wedding is a chance for everyone, even non-family members, to get together. If you see a wedding underway, don't be shy. The host will happily invite you in and feed you all sorts of food. That's the Kazakh way.
Wow.
现在已经解开了新娘的面纱，她正式成为我们南方的人。然后呢，男方女方聚在一起要举行阿肯弹唱。现在是女方和男方，这个男孩是南方的，女孩是女方的，要进行这个阿肯弹唱对唱。
So, my friends, this is what it's like to be in a traditional Kazakh wedding. It's definitely got a leg up on your traditional white wedding, but actually, I've got to let you in a bit of a secret. It's just a performance. Torhonbek told me that the modern Kazakh person lives a slightly different kind of life, but at least you can still enjoy this for the night.
The wedding performance isn't always on, but you can have one organised for you for a pretty penny. Anyway, Torhonbek's taking me to his home to show me what life is like nowadays for Kazakhs on the Narak grasslands.
这是我家，我带你过来参观一下。哎，别忙，有生的。这是我小弟。
哎，你好，
你好，是我大弟弟。
哦，你好，你好。
这是我弟媳妇，这是我的爱人。
啊，这算了。哇，你这家庭很大的。哦，洗啊！哦，这儿好，好的，好的。
洗3次啊，
洗3次，
洗3次不要甩手。我们哈萨克人说这个水是这个财富的象征，把水甩，就是牢牢的把水
财富给甩掉，
手里不要甩掉。
哎，好，谢谢。
洗3次手，右脚迈进，我们的尊敬。
哎，好。
啊，这就是我们的定居房了，真的。
哇。
啊，木米的定居房，这是我们的茶房，平常喝茶呀，聊天。啊，这边是还有我们的卫生间，我带你进去看看。
这里啊，你这卫生间非常先进。哇，这个 look at this, this is even better than the bathroom I've got back at home.
现在牧民家里家家户户都有了，已经普及了。
都已经这样。
定居房都有了。
那我没想到。
来，这边还有我们的客房。啊，好。来，这边是我们的客房。哦，参观一下。
哎，很漂亮。很好 This quite nice. It's like a traditional style modern living room. 好，咱们还有别的。
来，这边还有我们的烽火房啊，柱子房。
哎，这个是你的电脑
啊？我的电脑对。
这个家伙，就是你家里肯定有人打魔兽吧？
我弟弟。
哇，
经常打游戏。
我的配置都没有这么好。这个大屏幕。
来，请坐吧。
哎，好的。来，我发现
盘腿坐啊。
我发现，哎，现在的哈萨克的生活确实跟原来不太一样了。
对，大有进步。
现在
都方便了。
对。哎，那你那个家人他们工作完了，一般回来会干什么呀？
一般回来都是上网啊，聊聊 QQ， 打打游戏，看看电视。
然后从网上买东西
啊，淘宝啊。
哎，他们在这儿买东西，他们会送过来吗？
会送过来的。
在这个草原上还能送？
啊，可以送。现在交通方便了啊，公路都修到我们的草原上。
A half-hour drive away from Torhonbek's home is the most spectacular part of the Narak grasslands, the Kongjong Taoyuan. Loosely translated, it means the sky pastures.
哇，这里真漂亮！
哎，天啊，这里就是我们半山坡的一个观景台
啊，
这里就可以欣赏到这个那拉提镇的这个全景。你看到那个我们中间有一条河，你看到没有？那条河就是贡乃斯河。
啊，对，中间那一大长块是吧？
它把这个那拉提分成了2块，那边是农业区，这边是牧业区。
At over 2,000 meters above sea level, this is the highest grassland in Xinjiang. Up here, the weather changes drastically. You'll have clear skies one minute, rolling thunderclouds the next. I can't begin to describe how atmospheric it is here. It feels as if you're standing at the edge of heaven, completely exposed to the elements. This place makes you want to throw everything away and come here to live the life of a nomad. A life that's raw, never at the mercy of Mother Nature. Naturally, some things have changed. Although people still rely on their horses, everyone here drives. In the old days, when herdsmen moved from pasture to pasture, animals carried all their possessions. Nowadays, everyone uses moving vans. I guess it's sad to see this nomadic tradition changing, but life has undeniably changed for the better. At least for now, the life of a Kazakh herdsman at its core still remains the same as it's been for thousands of years. Coming up next, we churn up some dust with Xinjiang's coolest bike gang as we head full throttle towards the Huitan Grand Canyon.
We've left the Narak grasslands and headed up north to Huitan, which is actually a really popular transport hub. And many visitors who've come off their plane at Urumqi come here straight away because it's close to many of the scenic areas and also the tourist spots. But because of that, the food and accommodation here is there's a lot of options for that, and it actually often tends to be cheaper than in Urumqi.
Besides having loads of coaches coming in and out, Huitan also has excellent rail links, with trains leaving to major destinations in Xinjiang. Xinjiang is notoriously difficult to travel to, but because of Huitan's scenery and ease of access, Huitan has become a hotspot for people looking for adventure.
Now, some people like to go to Huitan by walking, some like to go by car, but I like to travel in style. So! So, I'm part of the crew, but this is my initiation ceremony. You see this ramp down here? We're going to go head first down that way, and it's all downhill from here.
It's actually quite difficult to get down. A normal car might not even make it. But we haven't ridden 1.5 hours for nothing. Our destination, the Huitan Grand Canyon.
Oh my god. Would you look at that? Hey! Anyone out there?
there's one thing I've learnt in Xinjiang, is that sites like these really make you realise just how small you are. You don't have to be a nature buff to appreciate the grandeur of everything here. Just simply stand back and let it take you in.
We've come a long way. It almost feels like yesterday that Greta went off to Urumqi and then went to look for wild horses and asses. And then James, man, he struck it rich up at Alatai. Hopefully, he brought us back some gold. And then my most memorable moments were when I was running alongside Kazakh horsemen and then being thrown about over at Serum Lake. But I've come to realise that northern Xinjiang is a land of plenty. And we've seen so much already. So I'm very excited to see what southern Xinjiang has to throw at us. So make sure you tune in to the next episode when we begin that leg of the trip. I'm Taran, you've been watching Travelogue.